This is episode number 302 of the Homeowners Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowners Show. We're so glad that you could join us for another live episode here in the studio. How you doing, Kev?
Well, I guess we'll take two, and everything will be fine.
That's right.
No,
Let's try this one more time.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. So I had a fun weekend because I got to change the alternator out of my truck.
That's always a good time.
No, well, I mean, look, it's really not that big of a deal. It's right at the very top of the engine, but I did it.
It's nice and easy on older cars.
It
That's
is.
For sure.
It is
easier on older.
It
cars.
was not bad, but I just did it 14 months ago, and it failed already. They just don't make alternators. Like, if you buy them used, a remand or whatever, you can't hardly buy a new one for an old vehicle like mine. So anyway, which is fine. Got it all changed out, whatever. But I also had to change the brakes and the rotors on the front.
Had to.
Had to. Like, it was more than time. But, so do you remember, I don't think we ever did a review on it, but do you remember whenever I bought the Ryobi, like the lug nut remover?
Yeah.
It's the big dude. And I think it was like $250 for the tool, which is fine. I mean, honestly, that's one of the more expensive tools that they've got, but that thing is heavy duty. I mean, I think I showed it to you. It weighs a ton. But there's a lot of force behind it. But here's what's really interesting. So I was, my buddy Micah, who was on our show a long
6
time.
years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Literally. One of our very first episodes. He was helping me, and he got his air gun out, and he had a big old tank air gun out. Mm-hmm. Didn't even touch what the Ryobi was doing. I mean,
really?
No, like, not even kidding. He was having to, like, literally hold his air. He had it on full blast, and he was holding there, getting and finally loosened it, and mine was like, and it was done.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
What was the pressure at on the tank? Do you know?
He had it all the way up to like 120
Was it a
or something.
Was it a smaller one or
No,
was it a bigger one?
It was a big
Okay.
tank.
Like a
It was-
20, 40 gallon.
Yeah, it's probably a 40 or 50 gallon. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a pretty big dude, and it was. I mean, it wasn't filling anymore. It had already filled, and he's like, I had this thing up all the way, and the Ryobi was killing it. It like just way outdid it.
And that's the 18-volt line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that they're talking about doing some of that with the 40-volt. I don't know why, if they're getting that kind of performance out of the 18.
I'm telling you that for the price of the battery being, what it is, which is very reasonable.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can buy their 4 amp hour 2 for $100, and they last.
Oh yeah,
They last a long time, especially if you keep them on the charger and do what you're supposed to with them. But I was just shocked. I mean, I've used it before, and I knew how good it was, but I never had it side by side with an actual air gun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so as a comparison.
And it. I wish I would have thought in the moment to like take some video but I'll tell you, the problem was it was raining. Like, we literally had one of those 10 by 10 tents up over us because it was raining on us. We were soaked.
We could try it out on the old horse trailer that's permanently parked in front of my house now.
We could.
I guarantee you they're going to have trouble on both of them.
There's a little bit of rust on there.
A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just telling you guys, a lot of you out there dogging on Ryobi, but they put out a fine tool.
So they've got one I want to get right now because we're about to do a lot of tractor work around here. We're fixing to disc up the whole pasture.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, and one of like on a tractor, like with the implements and all that kind of stuff, you have to grease them up.
Yeah,
and like they have like those little grease inserts. Mm-hmm. So Ryobi has a grease gun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I mean, that can't be one of the more sought after tools, which means it's probably like a $50 or $60 tool.
No, it's $150.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But like any of you that grew up grease gunning your dad's tractor, it's like a
Yeah.
I mean, they make the impact. They make one for your air tank.
Oh, okay.
They have them like that.
Okay.
And those are pretty cool. But like you're still having to drag around a hose.
Sure.
Which to me is that was always the worst.
Sure.
I was always the hose.
The dragger.
I was a hose man in the shop, which is the worst job. So
that is literally probably how they came up with the
hoser.
Yeah, well, you got hosed.
You got hosed.
You got hosed. It's
you were the hose man.
I am a hoser.
A whole generation of people don't know where that came from. I do.
Yeah, I've been there.
Was that?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't sleep on some of those. Now, I think that there are other tools that have that same type of gun. I think so. I think Milwaukee has one. I think DeWalt has one too. But man,
have you seen these shows where these guys get the drills to fight each other?
Oh yes, where they lock
them together.
They lock them together. And they like until one of them dies.
Yeah,
so, I've watched a couple of those.
It's inappropriate, but they call it going tip to tip.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I don't care who you are.
So. I don't. But that's not a contest I want to play or win.
No.
So, but it exists.
Yeah, it's there.
But anyway, what was I saying?
I don't know. Do we want to talk about what we're doing tomorrow?
Yeah, we got the live event tomorrow.
We do.
That's just a little something, guys. We're sold out of VIP tables. Like we can fit no more.
We actually took on one more than we said we were going to.
Yeah. Just because we like them.
Yeah.
And they asked.
We're good people.
They wanted to be in the room.
Yeah, of course.
So, but no, we've got. I mean, like just in the VIP room. Like, look. I mean, next time we have one of these, get a VIP table because that's where the action's going to be happening. It's not that we don't want you to come. It's just like, look, deals are going to get made. Mm-hmm. Friendships are going to be bonded.
Yes.
For life,
forever.
Yeah,
there's no other option.
But like just in our private room where we're going to be doing the live broadcast, there's going to be about 35 people in that room. It's not like a huge room that we booked, and so 35 is going to feel real full, and it's going to be like the biggest audience that's paying attention to us at one moment live that we've ever had.
Yeah.
Or intently paying attention to us.
Well, man, we'll see. It depends on how everything else is going.
They could get bored and walk out. Who knows? But like we're gonna be talking about the election results. We're gonna be interviewing some different people. We got special guest host Sean Breeden.
Yeah,
he filled in for you once when we did that weird house.
Oh, I remember
that you couldn't make it to, and so he's loads of fun. He's a contractor himself,
right?
So he's gonna be fun to jump in the mix, and we may even have like a surprise like celebrity show up that I'm like 90% sure they're gonna be there. But we'll see.
We'll see. You never know. You're gonna have to tune in.
Yeah,
to find out.
We'll announce tomorrow during the day.
You could watch, your Fox or CNN or whatever you want to, but just watch the Homeowners show.
Yeah,
you're gonna be able to find us on Facebook, on YouTube. We're gonna be live on both of those locations.
Right.
It's probably the best place to find us. Is honestly. The best place to find us and interact with us will probably be Facebook.
But we respond to both.
But we'll respond to both.
Yeah. So and here's the other thing is like we talk about politics quite a bit on the show. Honestly, more lately than usual, just because it's the presidential election.
Well,
it's
there's so much that goes. There's so much with this presidential election specifically. That has impacted homeowners.
Yeah. So I mean, so there's that, but like. We're not there to like be partisan and like, hoop and holler about, whatever. Like Kevin and I both have our opinions and we don't mind sharing them, but like, we're not there to be jerks. And so like, if you think that you think differently than us, don't think that you can't come break bread with us. Like we're going to have fun either way.
Right.
And it's going to be a good time. And, if you want to come and be rude, there's other restaurants in the area. That's fine. You can go there.
Go find somewhere else.
But like, look, like we're there to have a good time. And meet other business owners and entrepreneurs.
That's it.
And like, if you are interested in expanding your network and you want to meet other people who are plugged into the whole podcast thing, like most of our guests are, and know that that's the new form of media where people are actually getting their information from now, it's going to be a good place to be.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's the first of many.
So what time are we going to be there?
So the event starts at 6, but we're going to start broadcasting at 7. And we're going to go till 10 o'clock because we're not going to be stupid like Steven Crowder and say like we're going to stay on air until this thing's resolved.
Well, we don't want to be on the air till Friday,
right?
Because I think that's what's going to happen. Maybe
December.
not. Maybe not. I mean, I'm hoping not.
I told you what I think will be the determining factor.
We'll see.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. But anyway, like here's something I haven't talked about this on the show, but I think it's funny.
Okay,
is there was like the big to do about Dick Cheney endorsing Kamala.
Yes.
So here's what I find interesting about that whole scenario. Right, is if you follow the timeline, you've got Trump in Pennsylvania getting shot in the head.
Yep.
Nicked his ear, blood went everywhere, all that kind of good. So he gets shot, and then we have the whole kerfuffle about the Secret Service and like who, and then they clean the kid's house out, they cremate him, and no information. We don't know we don't know what the motivation was. We don't know anything.
Nope.
And then the next shooter comes along, and he's staked out on the golf course.
Yep.
Well, they capture him and stop him before he really has a chance to get at him, but he was there to shoot him.
Yes.
Okay? So shortly thereafter, Kamala announces, like, I am so excited to announce that Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney have endorsed me. And I'm thinking to myself, like, look, I get that you're excited that, like, a Republican likes you, but, like, it seems to me like a low-level threat to Trump. Because what you've gone and done is gotten Dick Cheney, the Republican made famous by shooting another Republican in the head, to endorse you. And it's like, what are you trying to communicate here? It's like the first two didn't get you, but like Dick's a coming.
Here he comes.
And like you want to go hunting Trump?
Oh my goodness!
I was like, come on, guys. That's like and not only that, like Dick Cheney.
Right.
Like you're happy that Dick Cheney, like you should be like, no, could you just like keep that to yourself? I mean, please vote for me, but like don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
I mean, because like there are Republicans that consider that dude a war criminal.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And like you're happy about this?
No, yeah.
I don't get it. And like the only way it made sense to me is like you're like, hey, Trump.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you're welcome. Hey, so can you say her name again?
Kamala?
You said it different just now.
What did I say?
You said Kamala.
I don't care.
That's why this is part of my problem. We don't even know how to say her name.
I will tell you the only reason, like if someone asks me how to say her name, the only reason I know how to say it is because of that SNL sketch.
Oh, sure.
Because they did all the Amalas. All the Amala jokes.
Yes.
And so like and I've heard her refer to herself as Mamala. That's what her stepkids call her, is
really?
Mamala.
I've not heard that.
So,
but it's funny because you said Kamala twice, and then you said Kamala.
But like
I think it's Kamala.
I think so too. Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
It'll matter tomorrow.
Maybe.
We'll say her name more tomorrow than we will today, and I feel like we've said it more today than I intended to.
Sure.
But there's that.
Did you see the SNL sketch?
Yes.
Okay. I got to give her credit. I thought it was pretty good.
It wasn't bad.
It was way better than the other one.
Yeah.
Way better than and like she actually, like in the one that she did with Superstar Gal, that was just a nightmare. That was so dumb.
I know.
She looked uncomfortable. In this one, she did. She genuinely looked happy.
Yeah.
She genuinely looked like she wanted to be doing it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's a way better look for you.
There's
like,
at least that.
Like she genuinely smiled in that one.
Yeah, I agree.
So like it doesn't mean that I like her.
No.
But it just I was like, okay, like you did better there. Wait, like, and not only that, like, good for you for getting back on that horse.
Right.
Like, because
at least you tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
well, let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah. So, also, come to our live event.
Yes, come tomorrow. You can get there at 6 if you want to. We'll be there, set up, ready to go. But 7's when it starts. 10, sorry guys.
At the Thistle.
We're out. We didn't even say where it was.
Yeah, at the Thistle.
The Thistle, which is on 2920.
Near Rhodes Road.
Yeah, Rhodes Road.
Kirkendall, if you're familiar with the area. It's in Spring, Texas. We have the private room in the back. But like even if you're not at one of the VIP tables, you still want to come.
Yep.
If for nothing else, to come taste some of Chef Trennis's food.
Oh my goodness. You told me about some of the stuff that he's going to do for the people in the room, which is not what he's going to do for the other people.
No, that's only available to VIPs.
But I'm just telling you, well, first of all, the stuff that he makes normally is
incredible.
Some of the truffle fries and some of the other things that he makes are just incredible. But
Well, look, I mean, like what is special that's going to be there tonight is tomorrow night is taco night.
Oh,
Taco Tuesday.
it is.
So he comes out with 3 signature tacos every Tuesday.
Really?
I forget what the theme is.
Every Tuesday he has new tacos?
Yes.
Okay.
And so tomorrow night he's going to have 3 different tacos available. So those are going to be worth showing up.
Yeah.
They have like 60 taps, and then they have a whole cooler, like a walk-up cooler that you can pull stuff out of. Wine, beer, and then the secret speakeasy next door you can go to. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be good times, and and not only that, like, look, if you don't want to network, you're just kind of shy, but you just like want to come to a fun event. There's trivia tomorrow night.
And
so they're doing trivia.
That'll be fun.
So you can play trivia and just ignore the whole election thing and not talk to anybody.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that?
So, but maybe like, once you win trivia, then you'll feel confident enough to talk to somebody.
Yes.
So anyway, we are going to be talking about the 12 most affordable American cities currently in the U.S. This was an interesting list and some research put out by Zillow. I think part of this, the reason Zillow is doing this, is we are a much more, people are moving around more than they used to, or more willing to relocate to places where they want to live because they can work remotely.
And it's easier too, even with family, like with the internet and FaceTime and all that kind of Zoom, all that kind of stuff. It definitely makes it easier.
Right. So, and we're just going to go from bottom to top. And so here's sort of how they calculated this. What we have is a share. The ratings are based off the shares of affordable listings in that city matched up with the typical home value.
Okay.
So there's a correlation in the relationship between the two. So like you have a percentage of what is considered affordable housing in that city, and then what the typical home value is in that city. And so what you're going to see is sometimes the prices are going to be lower in other cities, but some of that is based off of the percentage of available houses in that city. Does that make sense?
Well, it does. I mean, we talk about inventory a lot,
right?
And this is kind of what that means, like how much inventory there is versus how much those actually cost,
right?
Yeah.
And so why I think this list could be helpful to a lot of people, because some of you might be listening to this going, well, like, why aren't we listing like rural cities? We're not. These are all major metropolitan cities.
That's right.
But if you're like us, like Kevin and I, we live really close to Houston. Mm-hmm. And so we have access to all the amenities of Houston, which are about an hour and a half away.
Yeah, depending on the day.
Depending on the day. And so but for us, driving an hour and a half sometimes is really not that big of a deal.
Oh, that's just getting out of our neighborhood sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. But what you can do is you can go, okay, if that's a city I wouldn't mind living near, what are then the suburban and urban rural areas around that city that I might be able to get like a bigger piece of property nearby where I could just commute into that city. And so like that I think that's probably where people are going to be using this information.
Yeah.
But I think some of you are going to be kind of surprised as to
what's not on here,
but also like what the prices actually look like.
Yeah.
In some of them.
I mean, they're. I'll just tell you, I'm gonna little spoiler alert. They're better than I expected.
Better than I expected too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
With some of them. So number 12 on the list is going to be Minneapolis, Minnesota. With the typical home value. Do you have this list in front of you?
I do.
Okay, so we can kind of swap off on this if you want. Maybe I'll do the first 6 and you can do the last 6.
Okay.
Minneapolis, Minnesota, typical home value, and this is as of August of this year, or really September, because it's like the end of August when they did August 30th when they put this list together. Minneapolis, Minnesota, average home value about $371,000, and then in that area, 50% of the houses are in that affordable range.
Okay.
So Minneapolis, pretty big city.
It is.
It's one of those. It's a swing state. So maybe you're looking to like change things up in the state toward your particular perspective.
Go vote.
Yeah. And so number 11 on the list, we got Kansas City, Missouri. Average home price about $301,000. in Kansas City, and about 50% of the houses are available in the listings that are around that price. So you guys can kind of see how this shakes out. There's about half the houses in Kansas City that are listed right now that are around that 301,000. Number 10 is Philadelphia, PA. That one was actually kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, me too. Just because I don't know.
I think
Philadelphia's an
Philly.
interest. Yeah, well, for sure, for reasons. I mean, Philadelphia this is most affordable, not the safest and most desirable.
Right.
And I'll say that on purpose because like just across the river from Philly is one of the most dangerous cities in all of America, which is Camden, New Jersey.
Oh, dude, we get so much flack for you talking about Camden.
Well,
no, really, like it's one of our biggest YouTube videos, and like people are on there like, "Who the hell are you talking about Camden when you've never even been there? You don't live there."
I have. I've been there multiple times actually, and I've been through the streets of that place. That they have no policemen, they have no firemen. They have no like city services. There's no trash, like local trash, because they have no city government there.
Is it okay? How long ago was it that you went?
It's been maybe 8 or 9 years.
Okay. Do you think it's still the same?
You think that gets changed?
Well, the reason I ask is because like it's one of those videos that we have on YouTube that people are still commenting on, and so like some people are like, it's not like that at all, and I'm like, well, dude, this video was like 3 years old. Like when
I'm just saying the last time I was there was pretty bad, and again, Philly is what Philly is. I'll tell you, there's some really cool places in Philadelphia, and it's got a lot of historical like stuff. I mean,
they got the Rocky statue.
They got the Rocky statue, and they got the Liberty Bell. So they got, they got
some stuff going on.
They got a lot of stuff. I mean, they've even got Reading Station there. That's maybe on the Monopoly board. You know,
it is.
Yeah, it is. So
it's one of those greens. Nobody ever wants to land there.
It is, and everybody mispronounces it. They say it's Reading Railroad.
Reading Railroad.
It's Reading.
Well, they should have spelled it better.
I agree. I don't disagree with you. Don't do REA and spell red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. It is Reading. Like it's like the past tense of reading.
Like what the people of Camden used to be able to do.
Oh wow! Now you're just trying to get in on the fun.
I don't care. Bring it. What are you gonna do? Throw your trash at me?
Yeah. Wow.
All right.
We've devolved. Let's keep going into number 9.
Number 9 is Cincinnati, Ohio, at average price $284,000, and 53% of the listings are at that amount. So doing pretty good there, Cincinnati.
What's interesting is so far, and we'll see what happens with the rest of the list. What we're seeing right here is everything's kind of in the northeast.
Yeah.
You know,
and I'll be surprised if that changes. I mean, there's one on the list, and it's going to be my next one. But Cincinnati is an interesting one because it's sort of like Dallas Fort Worth, because it shares space with a city on the other side of the river, which is a much lower economic place. And so I think part of that could be attributed to what's in Kentucky.
Yeah,
it's not to dog on Kentucky at all. It's just the reality of it is like, it's not as big of a city, but like it's right there. And so people can literally go across state lines, pay less taxes, which probably helps keep the property values low in Cincinnati.
Sure.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
The next one, which is number 8, is Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah. Finally, one in the South.
The one in the South.
Yeah.
This is actually surprising to me is how high, not that it's a high price, but the average home price is $249,000. Teetering on 250. It's like 249.6.
Yeah.
But 54% available homes around that price.
That's quite a few.
That's quite a few.
Yeah.
And like for like a metropolitan city, that ain't bad.
No, it's not. No, it's really not.
And like I think that's sort of the case with most of these. Is like, you go in any, like try and find a home in New York City for this price. Trying to find a home in LA.
Yeah.
For this price.
You're not going to.
It's not. I mean, you can do it in Houston.
No.
Which, spoiler alert,
not
on
today.
the list.
Yeah, not today. I mean, maybe 10 years ago you could have, but today, no.
Yeah.
Not median at least.
No. So, okay. So Birmingham, doing well, bud.
Yep.
So number 7 is Cleveland, Ohio, another Ohio. And that's around 229. Really 230, 229.9 as the average.
That's 55,000 less than its counterpart in Cincinnati.
Right. Right.
And pretty significant.
And Cleveland's a good sized city.
It is a good sized city. They don't know how to name baseball teams, but it's a pretty good sized city.
What are they called now?
The Guardians.
Aren't they going? Wasn't there like a petition to go back or something?
There's still a petition to go back to the Redskins. So yes, the Indians, the Redskins, they're all petitioning.
Really?
But here's the crazy thing. Most of the people that are really wanting them to go back are Indian.
Like
Native American.
Native Americans?
Yes.
Why do they want it to go back?
Because they're like, we are Indians.
Right.
We were called Redskins. That's like they're saying like that's who we are.
I thought part of the objection, and maybe it wasn't Native Americans making this objection. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but like I thought it was okay. So you've got like the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
You've got the Indianapolis Colts.
Yep.
And then you've got the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
And so like what you're doing is you're calling us animals.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I thought that was like the whole thing.
Yes, I think many people that don't understand the history feel that way.
I mean, like at the same point, at the same time, you got the New England Patriots.
Sure.
And like I don't think anyone's like saying like, hey, we really need to like
roll
that back.
Well, you got the Cowboys too. Even,
sure.
There's all kinds of this, but if you go back and look at the history of the Cleveland Indians, one of their founding players,
right,
was an Indian, and it was like this heritage that they've got. Anyway, it's very interesting. I'm not going to get into it. Someone's probably going to be like, "You don't know what you're talking about." Okay,
well, also the major tragedy here is you can't go back and watch Major League and make it make sense.
It's true.
No one's going to know what's going on.
What is this?
Who are these guys?
Who are these? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All right. So so 56% of the listings, which that seems really high.
It does.
Are available. And then number 6 is this one is really surprising.
This one's maybe on the entire list. This one is the most surprising to me, but it's because of its proximity to the capital,
to DC, which I mean is obviously Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
And so the average home price there is $385, which all of a sudden you go from 7 to 6, and you almost well more than $100,000.
It's the highest on the list.
$170,000 or $160,000 jump in home value. But I mean, like, it's Baltimore.
It is.
And so you have that $385 price tag, and then 56% available listings right now.
I mean,
around
Baltimore is one of those places that, like, depending on where you're at in the city, it's not a good place to be.
No. Well, and
it can be a great place to be.
Again, this is sort of like the Cincinnati problem. Not really a problem, but conundrum. Baltimore is so close to DC, and DC is so crime ridden. It almost necessarily has to flow over into Baltimore.
Sure.
And so I think it has that hanging around its neck. But I mean, for the size of city, the proximity to the capital, as much money as flows through the capital, a bunch of people live in Baltimore and commute to DC.
Right.
And so like that price seems really reasonable.
It does.
As like the median price.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't disagree.
So anyway, I'll let you take it from here, Kev.
Okay. Well, the next one on the list, number 5, is Indianapolis, Indiana, and that is the average price is $278,800, 60%. I mean, the numbers start jumping pretty high once we get to this place.
Well, this is like the first Midwest one that we have.
Yeah, and there's one other one, I guess, but one really, and 2, I guess, but 278, 60% of the houses at 278. I mean, again,
60% is high.
It's pretty high.
Yeah,
it's pretty high.
So I don't know if that indicates that they're the prices are going to continue to drop because they have so many listings available that are quote unquote affordable.
Right.
But I mean,
it's very possible.
Yeah.
I mean, again, this goes back to something we talked about a lot, which is the inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And part of the thing that drives the price up is low inventory.
Yeah. Yeah. And this place has a high inventory of what is considered affordable. And lists like this, I think, are really, really helpful for people looking to move, but also helpful to investors. Because they can sort of forecast and go, okay, well, Indianapolis has 60% available listings at the affordable price, which means that I can sort of swoop in and get some under what's considered affordable and, improve. And people don't realize that. I mean, people look at, real estate investors as, slumlords and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But what they don't realize is these guys a lot of times are the ones improving properties and neighborhoods.
Well, yeah, because they'll come in and buy a house cheaply, flip it, and rent it out. And rent it. I mean, they're doing something that someone else might not be willing to do. So yeah. All right, next on the list at number 4 is another Midwest option is Detroit. And they are coming in at 253.
Yeah.
I mean, we're starting to hit some number, Birmingham was down there just sub 250, but this is right around 250, and they're also at 60%. So
yeah,
I mean, it's decent home value there.
Dude, Detroit takes a lot of flack, and a lot of it's well-deserved.
Well, their history is what their history is.
Listen, Motown is my favorite record label of all time.
Sure.
Like, I love Motown.
Yeah.
But did you hear Lizzo speaking out doing a stump speech for Kamala? I know what she was saying, but she goes, look, y'all, if we elect Kamala, every city in the U.S. will be like Detroit. Oh. And like everyone everywhere's like, no,
wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute, hold on. Can we not?
No,
I don't want that. I actually like
that.
This.
That should be on the ad against,
right?
Not the one for,
right? Yeah, no, Detroit's a rough place.
I think it's gotten better over the years.
I don't disagree.
So, and I think one of the things that could really make it better is bringing some jobs back into Detroit, bringing some auto manufacturing back into Detroit, which I think would be huge.
Would be.
So, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it done.
No, but but that's one of the things that those people there want.
Yeah,
I mean, their grandpas, great grandpas that worked at these factories.
They were good jobs.
They were great jobs. No. So, all right. Well, that's number 4. Number 3, Buffalo, New York.
I know nothing about Buffalo.
I don't either. I think
other than supposedly the wings came from there.
Well, that and the Bills.
The Bills.
I don't even know what a bill is, but whatever.
Supposedly it's a buffalo.
Supposedly a buffalo bill. Is Bill the person riding a buffalo?
Maybe it was like Wild Bill.
Look, y'all, this is how dumb we are whenever it comes to Buffalo. I'm sorry for the residents of Buffalo, but I will tell you this.
Yeah.
They come in at 265 and 63% available. So still a pretty good value for New York, which, again, I think the problem with New York is many people look at New York and the only thing that they see is the city, which is New York City.
Yeah, but how far away is the city?
But it's pretty far away from a lot of things. It's not that big. I mean, New York City by land mass.
I was actually right.
So it's by land mass, New York City is not that massive. I mean, it's compared to how many people live there. The state of New York is way bigger, What were you right about?
The name.
Oh, okay.
It says the name Buffalo Bills comes from nickname of American frontiersman and soldier William Frederick Cody, also known as Buffalo Bill.
Okay, so it's a person.
It's a person, and they just used the buffalo because that was what he was hunting out on the frontier.
Okay, well, there you go. Buffalo, Mr. Bill.
They're named after a dude.
Okay, well, there you go. Again, are we going to walk that back? I don't think so.
No. I do like their name better now, though.
Yeah.
I wish it was associated with Wyoming or Montana or
something. Yeah, but no, New York.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is what it is at 265, 63%. Number 2 on the list. A little more Midwest here too. St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
And
isn't like the easternmost part of Missouri?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it's basically Yankeeism.
you might as well call them that. 250, 251 actually,
not bad.
64%. So we're creeping up more and more and more. But it is surprising to me what number 1 is.
Same.
Number 1, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. their number is 215.
I know.
Like that's
low.
That's really, really low. I mean,
that's like less than like entry level first time home buyer here in Conroe.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean you're looking at like a.
Look.
You're looking at like a 3 to 1,500 square foot house around here. You know,
you're looking at 320,
right?
For like a decent sized home.
Definitely. And maybe the thing that's more shocking than that is the percentage available.
I know. Yeah.
73% available.
Well, okay. So this to me is an indicator of a poor economy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's true.
Which, in this political climate is really favorable for someone like Trump.
It is.
Because like, look, if there's that many available at such a low price, it means economically things in Pennsylvania are not going
not
well.
Good.
And you can interpret that however you want, but like it's just a fact. Like you have a major metropolitan area where like the average affordable home is $215,000, and 73% of your listings are at the affordable level.
That's amazing.
I mean, like that tells you a lot.
Well, we've been talking about it all night here. I mean, when you have a lower inventory, the price goes up. It just does. I mean, whenever you go look, guess what? I'm the only house in my neighborhood that's for sale.
Yeah.
Guess how much I can list mine for?
As much as you want.
As much as you want to. You can look at comps all day long, but you're not going to get a very good one.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the ones that have been sold recently, I'm still the only option.
Yeah.
So if you want in this neighborhood, you're going to pay my price. And I know it's got to appraise and all that kind of stuff. But when you've got an availability of 73%, it's not shocking to me that the number is at 215. The shocking number is 73%.
Right.
That's
huge.
That's huge.
So let me look at one of these other lists for everybody real quick, and I'm going to go through this pretty quick, for the sake of time, and I think it's interesting the contrast. So what you have in this list, and this is just 10. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. These are the 10 metro areas with fewer than 15% of the homes listed in the area being considered affordable.
Okay.
So
so these are the most affordable. I mean, most unaffordable.
The cities with the least listings that are considered affordable.
Okay. So it's there's just not that many of them.
Right.
Most things are unaffordable.
I don't even know what is considered affordable in these areas.
Right.
But I would imagine the price is very high.
Based on what I'm seeing on this list, I think you're probably right.
I mean, from
low to high.
Most to least.
Yeah.
So you got Providence, Rhode Island, San Francisco, California. This is in order. Riverside, California, Boston, Massachusetts, New York, Sacramento, California, San Jose, California, San Diego, California, and Los Angeles, California. I want you guys to understand the 4 top metro cities in the United States with the least amount of affordable housing, all in California.
And half of the top 10, more than half of the top 10, 6 of the top 10.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But for the top 4, California, 6 of the top 10,
yeah.
California. Right? And the other
60% of the top 10 is California.
Yep.
And the other ones is Massachusetts, New York, and Rhode Island.
Right.
And what's really shocking is that New York isn't higher. That New York is lower than 4 cities in California. That's insane. And okay, so and then the top 3 are all less than 10%. Los Angeles having only 2%.
Yeah.
Available.
Right.
So I mean, like,
there's actually only 9 on this list. If you start looking at it, there's 9 on this list, not 10,
because of proximity.
So 2/3.
Yeah.
2/3 of these are California.
Yeah. Just nuts, man. Okay, and so here's the other list, is the 10 metropolitan areas that gained the most affordable listings this year compared to last year.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, so
this is a good number.
Yeah, so, I mean, and so from least to most, Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, Minneapolis, Minnesota, which was also in the other list.
Yeah.
Atlanta, Georgia, Jacksonville, Florida, Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. They put those 2 together.
Yep.
Virginia Beach, Virginia, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Houston, Texas being number 1.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Part of that is Houston's just got such a massive sprawling.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, people don't realize how big
By
it is.
land mass, again, we're talking about land mass.
Yeah.
It's massive.
And Houston had has 40% listings available within the affordable range. I don't know what those are in Houston, but like I can tell you it's probably around 300.
Yeah.
250, 300, somewhere in that range.
Because it's not in that 250 to 300 range. It's probably the 3 to 350 range.
Could
most
be,
likely.
yeah. But to have 40% available, awesome.
Yeah, and 4 of those, and there are 10 there. 4 of those are in Texas.
Texas, yeah.
You know, which again, you start looking at why so many people from California are moving to Texas. This number right here is very telltale.
Yeah. Well, in Minneapolis was number 10 or number 12 on the first list, and this one they were number that's out of 10, so that's number 7 or 6.
Yep.
Number 6.
Yep.
So Minneapolis is killing it.
They're doing something.
Yeah.
They're doing something for sure. Well, look, these are the types of things that we find interesting, and we hope you find them interesting too, mainly because these trends tell us something.
Yeah.
And, we're not the experts on this. We're reading just from someone else.
Reports from the experts.
That's right. And so, take it for what it's worth. I know that it's really easy to look at how much your home cost and how much your home valuations are and how much property taxes you're paying and all those sorts of things.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you're living, whether it's California, New York, or somewhere in between. But the truth is, it's all relative to somebody else.
Yeah.
And, you have the ability to move and do something different, but it'll be interesting to see how all of this looks 2 years from now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, one of the things that'll be interesting for us is to see how tomorrow goes.
That's it.
Because like this,
that's what I
will
mean
be
by that.
Massively impacted.
It will.
And markets are going to respond based off what happens tomorrow. And one of the big things that's going to be affected by that is housing.
Sure.
Just across the board.
Yep. It will be.
And, people that have decided to hold on to some of those low interest rates, should the election go one way or the other, it's going to be interesting to see if people, decide to, if I think if Trump wins, I think you're going to see a lot of people more interested in moving. Yeah. I think if Kamala wins, I think you're going to see a lot of people more interested in just sitting down and staying put for the next 4 years.
I think you're right.
And you can disagree with me. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
But I think that's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And tell me how I'm wrong.
Yeah. No, only time will tell.
Yeah,
time will tell. I mean, no matter who loses, we won't know what their impact could have been. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you'll be able to see a shift one way or the other. So I think it'll be interesting. So we're going to be here for it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Hopefully it'll be over tomorrow night so we can actually declare some stuff.
That would be nice.
Maybe we'll declare it anyway.
Yeah.
Declare myself.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We appreciate you. We will be around tomorrow starting at 7 Central. We hope to see you around. And if not, just tune in and say hey through the chats. If you haven't already, please leave us a like, a rating, and a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do all the things to make sure you never miss what's going on. Until tomorrow, we'll see you later.
See you.